Well, at the end, at the end. So the victim, what do we have to remember about the victim? That we are not responsible for the victim's reality. That the victim and every other being creates his or her own reality 100%. Okay? We can help the victim, we can offer love, we can offer practical help, but we should never get into the false belief that we are responsible for the results, that we are responsible for their health, for their happiness, for their satisfaction. We cannot be responsible. We cannot create someone's health. I have been trying for 30 years. We cannot create someone's happiness. I've been trying for 30 years. You can't do it. You can help someone. You can show them the way. You can ask them questions which may help them, but you cannot create it for them. So you cannot take responsibility for the result. So I need to get very clear in my mind that I am not responsible for the fact that this person is not happy or satisfied. And if he wants to continue to be in the role of the victim, it's his right and his choice. It doesn't mean that I leave them and I don't help them anymore. I help them. I love them. But I stop feeling responsible. And I do what I want to do. I give what I want to give out of love and not out of guilt. Because the victim plays with our guilt. And by making us feel guilty, causes us to do things which we don't believe that we should be doing, that we don't want to do, just so that they will be quiet and we won't feel guilty. And often we harm people in this way, because we do things for them that they could do for themselves. And that lessens their self-confidence. It lessens their inner strength and also their self-respect. So we have to have discrimination. Love is very important, and helping is very important. We have to be very clear where when we are helping someone and when we are harming them by helping them, by bailing them out of another situation in which they have created for themselves. Okay? So this takes clarity. It's not always easy. I often feel conflict in myself as to what to do in situations, whether it's beneficial to help this person at this time or just let them experience what they're experiencing. It's not always very easy to see. So what we need to remember with the victim is that they are totally responsible for the reality they're creating, and that we will continue loving and helping them, but with discrimination, and that we are not responsible for what's happening. What do we need to remember concerning the aloof person? We have to see that we have to be able to be happy without knowing what's going on in them. You see, we have the prerequisite that I have to know what's going on in my husband, what's going on in my wife, what's going on in my child, in order for me to feel safe, in order for me to feel that they love me, in order for me to be sure that they don't have some problem with me, in order for me to control their lives and to prevent any problems, because I don't have any faith in their own ability to solve their problems. So I have to know. So in order to get free from the problems created in confronting an aloof person, we need to get free from the need to know and give them space. Because the best way to help an aloof person to open up is to give them space. Also to realize that an aloof person has become aloof because they don't feel that it's safe not to be aloof. Because they feel that if they expose themselves, that they may not be accepted. This is the main thing. They may not be loved. They might be hurt. So if we want to create an environment in which an aloof person can open up, we have to help them feel safe. What does that mean? Zero criticism. Total acceptance. When there is total acceptance, the aloof person can begin to have the courage to say, you know, I'm feeling this. Because the aloof person begins to realize that I can be myself here. I can expose myself. Because no one's going to judge me. No one's going to criticize me. No one's going to use these weaknesses that I'm going to express against me. Okay? So we need also to understand with the aloof, because we can get into start feeling that, well, I'm responsible, I have done something and he's not talking to me, so we have to get rid of the responsibility thing, like in the victim, the same thing. The need to control, have to get rid of that with the aloof person, because knowing is the first step to controlling. And that's why I want to know everything that's happening around us. Because when we control things, we feel safe. You see, and when we're not in control, we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what other people are thinking, we feel insecure. Okay? So we need, how can we feel that way? Trust in God, trust in God's plan, trust in the other person, trust in life, trust in our own ability to face whatever may happen. The unexpected, that I can, okay, there may be unexpected things happening, I can face them, whatever they are, I have the strength. So these are some of the beliefs which, if we develop them, we can handle the aloof person in a different way. We can say to the aloof person, I would like very much for you to share your feelings with me, your needs with me. I respect that you don't want to do that now. It is important for me that you do it, and I want you to know that I'm always here and would love very much for you to share with me, but I'm going to give you your space, and I'm not going to badger you. And I don't want you to interpret the fact that I'm going to stop approaching you and asking you to do this as indifference. It's not indifference. I'm just respecting the fact that this is what you want. And let him experience that alienation, and let him decide by himself to get out of it. Because as long as we pressure him, he's not going to come out of it, you see. If you give him his space, hey, well, he'll start feeling lonely. Well, she's not badgering me anymore. Maybe she doesn't care. What, she got someone else? What's happening here? And then he starts to show interest, you see. So don't pressure the aloof. It won't work.